Hi, kindergarten friends. Our learning objective for today is I can compare 2D shapes. Now remember, a 2D shape is a shape that is flat, like this triangle, rectangle, square, and circle. They are flat shapes. So what we're going to do today is we are going to compare some 2D shapes to each other. Okay, so right here, this paper says, I can compare shapes, and we're gonna put one shape over here for shape number 1 and another one here for shape number 2. And then we're gonna compare to see how the shapes are different and how the shapes are the same. So here is my shape number 1 and my shape number 2. So let's look at these two shapes. What do you notice about them? How are they the same? Right, they're both the same because they're both triangles, okay? You might also notice that they both have 3 sides. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do they have the same amount of points or vertices? Yes, they do. This triangle has got 3 vertices or corners, and this triangle has 3 vertices or corners. Okay, so we talked about some ways that they are the same. How are they different? How are the shapes different? The shapes are different. One, because they're different colors. Are they shaped the same? They're both triangles, but look at this. Are they exactly the same? No, they're not. This one has got 3 sides that are all the same. And this is also a triangle, but if you look, all 3 sides are not the same. The sides are different lengths. So that's one way that they are different. Okay, let's compare a different set of shapes. Right here, it's a little bit big for my square, but I have got this shape and this shape. So these shapes are the same because, think about that. How are they the same? They are the same because they're both rectangles, aren't they? They are both rectangles with 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Here's the long and here's the short. So that's how they're the same. Do you see anything else that's the same with these shapes? Okay, so let's think about how these shapes are different. We know they're both rectangles, but how are they different? Yes, you might notice that one of them is bigger and the other one is smaller. You can see that specifically if you put it right on top. See how much bigger that one is than this one? So that's one thing we notice. One is bigger and one is smaller. Do you see anything else that they have different from each other? Their color is different. This one has a word and this one doesn't. So even though they're both the same shape, even though they are both rectangles, they're not the same completely. They're not identical. They are going to have some similarities and some differences. What about these 2 squares? How are these 2 squares the same? Yes, they both have 4 corners. They both have 4 sides. And they're both the same shape. They're both a square. Do you see anything that's different between these 2 shapes? The shapes are different because they're different sizes. They are different because they are different colors. They are different because one of them has a number on number 1 and this one does not have anything on it. Are they both flat? Yes. So would that be something that's the same or something that's different? The same. Very good. Okay, let's compare these 2 shapes. What do you notice? What shape is this? A circle. Is this a circle? Yes. And is this a circle? Yes. So that's something they have the same. They are both circles. Okay. What else do you notice that's the same? They're both round. Okay, now let's look at the differences. What are the differences you see between these 2 shapes? I notice that this circle is smaller and this circle is bigger. Another difference that I notice is this circle is black and this circle is yellow. So is it possible to have two different circles that are both the same? It is, but we might also see circles that are different. Okay, now let's look at this. We have a square and a triangle. How are these shapes the same? How are they the same? Think really hard about this. They're not the same shape, are they? So it's not that. Well, let's look at the amount of sides that they have, okay? Does this shape have sides? Yes, it does. It has 3 sides. Does this shape have sides? It does. It has 4 sides. So the shapes are the same because they each have sides. But the shapes are different because this shape has 4 sides and this shape has 3 sides. Let's look at the corners. How many corners does this shape have? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's count how many are on this triangle. 1, 2, 3. So the shapes are the same because they both have corners, but the shapes are different because they have a different number of corners. This one has 4 corners and this one only has 3. Do you notice anything else that's the same or different between our square and our triangle? Good thinking. Okay, let's compare 2 more shapes. We're gonna compare a rectangle with a circle. So we have a rectangle here and we have a circle. How are these 2 shapes the same? Do you see anything that's the same about them? I don't see anything. I don't see anything that's the same. This shape right here has got 4 sides that are flat and it's got 4 corners. But if we looked over here at the circle, it doesn't have any flat sides and it doesn't have any corners. So we can't compare those. These are 2 completely different shapes, aren't they? This one's round and this one's not. They're not the same color. They're not the same size. I would say these 2 shapes are completely different. Okay, friends, so we just had a lesson over comparing 2D shapes. We talked about how they are the same and how they are different. Tomorrow, when I come back, we're gonna compare 3D shapes, which remember, those are shapes that are not flat. Those are solid shapes that you can hold. All right, friends, bye.